Welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of Wednesdays at the Wink. I'll tell you what, we're excited here because we have a lot of returning people coming back to talk to us, Mitchell Dunham being one of them, Coach Rob Mazicko, head coach of cross country for Walsh University. Walsh Athletics right across the street from us here. We're inside of the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Again, back for Season 2 here of Wednesdays at the Wink, and always a special shout out to all of our sponsors and partners, Bell Stores, Huntington Bank, Sam Center, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, and BSN Sports. All right, guys, let's dig right into it. We're back in. It's fall. School's in session. Classes in session. A lot of fun things going on, but on top of that, it's competition time, right? Coach, tell us where you guys are at right now and really what has led us to this point here of today's date, where you guys are at as a team, both men and women, and how you guys have been faring.
We'll actually open up with the full team on Saturday, so
Okay.
we really haven't run everybody yet. A little bit of a delay on our year. We were forced because of NCAA rules to start a week later. So that's had a little bit of effect. We've been training pretty hard, hitting everything we need to hit in this part of the season, and then we're looking forward to being in the competitive season starting on Saturday at the Robert Morris Invite.
Mitchell, you had a chance to join us last year and really kind of break down a lot of things going on and how that training looks and getting to this point. What has been kind of the biggest jump for you? Now you're a fifth-year guy. What has been your jump from last season to this season, whether it's just from the physical standpoint side of things and your training, or even on a leadership side?
I think just being a year stronger. I've got 365 days more of running under my belt, which tends to help a lot. But also kind of like knowing that I'm a fifth year and this is going to be kind of my last go around. It's kind of made me appreciate things more and really want to get more involved with the team and do the little things a little bit more. Just because I know that my time will be over soon.
You guys got some new gear, I see. You
Yeah.
guys were kind of talking about the fresh cross-country gear with
Yes,
the
sir.
swords up. And Coach, for you, when you hear some of those words from Mitchell about, your last go-around, right? And I mean, you've done such a phenomenal job in the way you've recruited and brought in just some great quality, not just athletes, student athletes. How does that process look to you when, okay, you've got guys like Mitchell Dunham leaving, or you've got a Kraft who's leaving, and now it's like, okay, we got to start working some of these younger guys and finding out who may be able to be one of those when you talk about running a full team on Saturday. What's that process for you look like? We'll just call it flat out coaching.
Yeah, I mean, the recruiting end of it is huge. It's extremely stressful. Trying to get some of the Division I level kids to look at Division II. But like Mitchell and a lot of his teammates, they're Division I caliber kids that are running at a very competitive Division II school. So you gotta find the right ones, and you obviously have to find the ones that can do the work academically and fit the culture. And once they're in, it pretty much runs itself. The X's and O's of what we do really doesn't change. It'll change. I'll have to tweak things from year to year just based on the personnel we have. But overall, we do the same things, go to the same meets usually, and the plan is to get the same results at the end and try to improve upon those results and continue to be a nationally ranked and conference winning program.
TJ Downing here for Season 2 of Wednesdays at the Wink at the Washington Square Winking Lizard with our friends at Washington Square Winking Lizard. Make sure to stop over and check them out. A lot of great things going on with some of the football back going on, the Browns, the Buckeyes, whoever it may be. Our great friends here at Walsh University. If you're leaving campus, if you're coming out here just to check out a game on a Saturday or a Sunday, make sure you stop over here and patronize them for all that they do for us. Some great people here, some great food specials, drink specials, whatever it is you need, make sure to stop by the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Shout out to everybody catching us on the SMG network, and also again you'll be able to catch this on some different Walsh Cavalier platforms. Make sure to download the Walsh Athletics mobile app. That way you can stay up to date on everything Walsh Athletics. A lot of things going on here. A lot of varsity sports are underway, so get that Walsh Athletics mobile app. Stay up to date on scores, schedules, get some stats, and find out how you can purchase tickets to the next events coming up. Mitchell, when Coach mentions preparing and trying to hit those numbers, which you talk about, but then you have to go out there and do it. Let's talk about, I always carry my watch here, which was one of my worst losses I ever took in my career, to remind us of losses, right? I mean, it's great to win all the time, but we probably learn more about ourselves when we fail a little bit, and you're in a sport where it's like, if you don't hit that number, you failed, and you want to try. When you go back to the drawing board to figure out, we're talking seconds, right? I mean, we're talking just small numbers to really equal out to a greater thing for you, which is winning, having success. When it doesn't go your way, when you go back to the drawing board, what are some of the messages you kind of tell yourself, and how do you, other than just saying, hey, a lot of hard work, how do you get back to getting to where you want to be as a competitor?
I think having a short-term memory in this sport is kind of a necessity, because you can't just have one bad race and be like, oh, well, the season's over, and you discount all the training you did all summer. So if you're having a string of bad races, maybe checking your iron or going through that list. But generally, it's just trusting in the training and knowing that it works, and trusting that you'll get back to where you should be.
Yeah, I think I need to check my iron too. I was a little tired this morning when I woke up. I need to take a couple samples down here and make sure everything's going in the right direction. Coach, you when you hear that, Coach Rob Mazicka, you obviously the blood flow, the diet stuff, all on top of just going out there and running. I mean, how much stuff are you guys really on a daily basis just talking about, what you're consuming, what you're eating, how you're hydrating, because that's as much part of the deal as anything, right?
Oh, 100%. It's the little things that will make the difference at the end. Whether it's, the big thing that I'm always stressing is the sleep. This time of year when it's warm, obviously the water, all of that stuff. But there's so many different things. It's proven that if our kids are doing well in the classroom, they're going to run well. So, yeah, we focus a lot on that, and I think the team itself comes together. It's not a lot of me, telling them things. It's a lot of them taking their own accountability for the program, and they take ownership in the program. And when they do that, great things happen.
When we start to think about some of our younger student athletes that you're getting ready, you mentioned full team coming back out. If there's a few names, whether it's from the men's side, the women's side, that you're whether you personally I'm interested to see how they compete on Saturday at Robert Morris. I'm interested to see how some of my seniors lead, whether it's a captain, somebody younger that we may not know about, that you're like, this is one that I'm ready to see what their career might look like and how it may take off.
Yeah, I mean, really in the first meet, I'm excited to see them all.
Every one of
them. And yeah, the young ones, most of them we opened up last weekend and they fared very well. We were able to go to a meet and win with the young athletes. So we know that they're going to be ready to step in when they're asked to step in. But we're lucky to have a lot returning. So I don't think, one of those guys one of the women may step in there. But overall, it's going to be, it'll be interesting to watch them all. I mean, I can't really pick anything. I mean, obviously Mitchell and Xavier will probably lead the way for us because of their experience and their past successes in the sport. And then after that, it's basically a free-for-all to see who is going to step up this year and, play those parts for us.
Who can hang with the pack, right, Mitchell?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the fellow teammates of yours that you've seen that you're expecting big things from?
The Pappas brothers would be two that, we have a lot of weight on their shoulders just because they've proven that they can run well when it matters, but, they need to do it on grass. And then, there's a senior like Seth Macura, who's a senior. He, should fill that role. And then a couple guys like Kyle Woods and Lucas Keeperkamp, they've been working really hard. So
Coach talked about Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier is one of the other top guys.
Yeah. So before I get you guys out here, we're going to get a chance to talk to Greeny, and we're going to talk to our Student Athlete Advisory Council President, Aza Remmel, and your goal. I mean, I know it's obviously to get all the way to the finale there and be at the top, right, top of the podium. When you come into your final year, you know, you talked about it, this is your last go-around. What are some of the goals that you've set for yourself personally?
For myself, I'd really like to be an All-American by the end of it, like to get one of those titles under my name again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, at conference, just get the team title, and then, you know, hopefully I can maybe give Noah Fisher a run for his money because he's won too many years in a row.
There you go. See, these are the things we like to hear.
Yeah.
Right? Pushing people, and yeah, it's exciting to see, and I'm interested to see. We'll have you guys back on as you get obviously starting things out right now, and I know we kind of did that last year when you got closer towards, I think it was the super regionals and stuff like that. But it's interesting. I mean, like you said, if you win the conference, right, Coach? If you can win your conference, everything else, all your other goals have a shot after that, right? Just handle what's in front of you first, one thing, then the other, kind of just like one foot in front of the other, right?
That's right. 1 week at a time, and it's going to be a fun year. I mean, they are all fun, but every year is a new chapter. Every year is a new group of student athletes, and it should be really interesting year. I mean, our women's team is probably the best women's team we had since pre-COVID, so it's going to be fun as well, and you can ask Izzy about that because she's part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll be here more throughout the rest of this fall season to hear from Coach Rob Mazicko and the cross-country team. We'll continue to keep you updated on that, follow along with everything that they're doing. Twitter-wise, where can they catch you guys? It's Walsh XC
Track.
XC Track. Make sure to follow along, follow them, and stay up to date on everything that they're doing. Kind of get all the notes you need to know and all the stats, and check in on all of your runners and everything that they're doing, both on the men's side and the women's side. When we come back, we'll talk to Izzy, we'll talk to Greeny, we'll kind of break down what's going on there, and we'll have more here for you at the Washington Square Winking Lizard Wednesdays at the Wink Season 2 back here on the SMG Network. TJ Downing, I'll be back with more. Thank you, Coach Rob, Mitchell, my man from Boardman. Get it done. I'm going to be watching to see you and Noah Fisher. I want to see you take them down, all right? It's on the radar now.
Yeah, right on.
All right, we'll be back with more after this. No, we're going to keep talking about all that good stuff because that's competition, and we love that here. That's why we are athletes. All right, stay back. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to Wednesdays at the Wink here on the SMG Network, right across the street from Walsh University, here with our good friends Walsh Athletics. We've got the Walsh Cavaliers. We've got cross country going on right now. We just had a chance to talk to Mitchell. We had a chance to talk to Coach Rob, and now I've got Greeny also joined by Izzy Rammel, and so much to really talk about when it comes to you. We just kind of talked about it a second ago there. Honor student, student athlete advisory council president, the law stuff, but on top of that, we're here to talk about the athletics. You are one of the top runners. Tell me a little bit, as you mentioned, for the other day, you're starting to get everybody back. You'll have full team run Saturday, but kind of where you guys are sitting right now as the women's team has really kind of gotten underway here in 2024.
Sure. I mean, it's been exciting. This is my 4th year here, and I've been able to use my eligibility the whole time. But it's been really cool watching the team progress. And this year, we just got our rankings back. We're 5th in the Midwest, which is our highest ranking since my freshman year, which was the last time our team's been to nationals. So it's just the energy is really there this year. We have all of our top returners coming in just prime form, best shape of their life. And those top returners were able to do some pretty big things both this past spring, last cross-country season. We had a national qualifier in the 1500 who's leading our squad right now, Claire Raithman, and so she's been running super well. 4th place in the GMAC in steeplechase was Bailey Menegay, and she was our top runner at regionals. And I mean, the cool thing about our squad is it's running really deep. We have 7-8 girls who are all running like faster than what our number 1 was running last year, which is a really, really great spot to be. And so I'm just honored to be a part of that pack and getting to work together in workouts for that. We're just really excited to be able to go out on the race course and see what that looks like against competition.
Yeah, Greeny, I know we had a chance to have Bailey on last year, and I believe she was just a freshman last year, right? So
Yeah.
Bailey's a sophomore, younger runner, but as Coach Rob mentioned, I mean, this might be one of the best from start to finish total roster of women's runners, best since, I mean, pre-COVID days.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I know I'm not a huge cross-country. I don't know all the ins and outs of what you guys do.
Oh, come on, we run miles all the time, don't we?
Yeah, prefer walking nowadays. Not running a bazillion miles isn't really my forte, but I know that both the men's and women's cross country program are very very historic at Walsh, and the men's program, they've won multiple conference championships in a row, national qualifiers, and the women they're right there as well. Last year, GMAC runner-ups. Again, 5th in the Midwest, and I'm just excited to see what they can do. And I'm very fortunate because I get to work hand in hand with Izzy with SAC, which is our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So just getting to know her and knowing what the whole team is doing this year is really exciting, and seeing what they can do, especially in the conference, because the conference is pretty strong as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're going up against Cedarville every year, who are consistently nationally ranked and consistently performing on that national stage. So to be able to go out and like compete with them is a pretty big honor. Not to mention, I mean, Findlay's got a great squad this year. Hillsdale always brings a few top performers. So GMAC is the place to be right now.
100%.
And it's the competition has gotten steeper every year I've been here. So it's cool to keep performing there.
And I think if I remember correctly from the girls that we had on last year, they mentioned that Cedarville was one of their favorite places to run.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, like the whole setup of the course. And so for you, I mean, what have been some of your more memorable places where you like to, the course, whether it's something that sticks out, how it's laid out, or where you've had some of your best performances at?
Well, it's funny they mentioned Cedarville too. I mean, I grew up down in like the Dayton area and was at Cedarville every year for my district race in high school. I've had some highs on that course, I've had some lows, which this year we're actually not returning to the All-Ohio race down at Cedarville. We'll be racing this coming weekend over at Robert Morris, just based on like competition levels. So I have mixed feelings about the Cedarville course in particular. Like I said, the lows were low there, the highs were high, but we always enjoy going up to Lock Haven and have a lot of like fast times coming out of there. So those are some of my favorite memories. But again, I mean, we have regionals over at Lewis before. We've ran at Lewis every year I've been here, and that's the place to perform. So we start out with that big hill and then figure everything out on the rest of the race.
Get
So
through
it's
the
all
hill
downhill
and
from
yeah.
there, right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what you tell yourself when you're like dying on the back stretch by all the corn and everything.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm excited for the season for sure.
With your schedule, everything that you have going on, I mean, what does your daily training look like? I mean, to try and fit everything in. I know you said you were going to pull out the Google Calendar for us, but I'm sure it's like you're probably getting up pretty early, and you can probably keep later hours. And as Coach Rob mentioned, with and Mitch said, I'm checking my iron to make sure this and that, but just sleep in general when you're talking about getting up and running. I mean, what is the output that you're putting on your body, distance-wise, on a daily basis, and how you kind of stay on top of all that stuff? Sleep, nutrition, all of it.
Well, I usually recommend to my teammates not to do everything that I do. I'm involved in a lot, but it's my senior year, and I enjoy like that busy and everything. But even over the summer and everything, sleep is always a priority for me, and I'm not somebody who can function pretty well after 9 p.m. So really it's just about using my downtime and everything. Usually the day will start, if it's a workout day, we'll have practice at 5:45. Be able to work as a crew and get our workouts in, and then the rest of the day is just getting to classes, getting to meetings, prioritizing food and recovery, which the SCURV is great for some good team-based recovery. I'm a SCURV fan personally. But really all of those little things fit in. You just kind of have to cut out the junk time, like screen time, all the time I've been able to find within my day for sure. And I think the sleep especially is a pretty big priority among all the girls on the team. We're always comparing sleep scores on our Garmin and say, who got their hours, who made their like little sleepy girl mocktail the night before. We're always sharing tips back and forth on how to like improve little metrics like that. So it's pretty nice to be on a team where people share habits and like want to do those little things to get better.
Wednesdays at the Wink here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Shout out to some of our special partners and sponsors: Bell Stores, Huntington Bank, the Sam Center, Serving Area Military, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, and BSN Sports. Now, Greenie, one of those things that she's involved with, obviously being Student Athlete Advisory Committee President, you guys have something going on today, a little home run derby action going on over at the softball field. Talk about not only that, but all the other things that kind of make up SAC. And is it a monthly deal where there's different events? Is it just trying to make sure that you're doing the most for the student athlete, right?
Yeah, so the Student Athlete Advisory Committee is actually an NCAA mandated club, you could call it, or committee on each campus from Division I to Division III. So every school that is a part of the NCAA at those levels, they have a committee, and it's truly the student athlete voice for, again, the student athletes. It's their voice on their campus. And then our conference, each school's president and vice president make up the conference SAC, and then we send people to the NCAA national meetings. They're involved with the top dogs, and as far as legislation goes, and right now, if you're following anything with college athletics, NIL stuff. So they're student athletes, again, from the D1 to the D3 level that get, if they're up on that ladder, that get to actually be the voice. And again, in 2 weeks here, we'll vote on some legislative grids that our conference and the GMAC will present to us, and Izzy and then our other board members will present that to our student athletes, and again, they'll vote. And it's a great organization. We raise a lot of money for Make-A-Wish. Today we're raising money for Legacy of Honor, which is a veterans-based organization out of Louisville, raising money for veterans, disabled veterans, and their families. We're super excited about that. It's also a great way to network with other student athletes on the campus, and we're fortunate to have Izzy be our president this year.
The Walsh Cross Country NIL Collective just got started here today at the Winking Lizard, so send your checks, send your payments. Izzy will take care of them. She'll make sure it gets all properly dispersed to the student athletes. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, just for you, you've probably seen so many different changes. I mean, it's really kind of a crazy landscape right now, isn't it? College athletics.
It is. I feel lucky to be at a place like Walsh where there is a lot of support for our student athletes too, and that it's a very engaging atmosphere. The people are excited to be here and excited to learn, and especially with our specifically Walsh's SAC, we have a very active group of kids who want to be engaged with the community in events like this, and who want to be able to use their voice and use it for good. So I, again, am very happy to be at a place like Walsh and feel lucky to be in a leadership position there, because it's a lot easier here than somewhere where you're struggling to get engagement, Yeah.
So what is the over-under on how many bombs Greenie's going to put out the park today?
I'm excited, but the golf swing might interrupt the little softball swing, so we'll see what we can do. I'm excited. I'm hoping I can just get one. That's my goal.
Coach Tim didn't take you out to the batting cages or anything?
No, we haven't done any practice yet. It's okay.
You don't want to see us cross-country runners out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're going to put some swings on it, right?
I'll try. I'll embarrass myself.
The president has to.
I do. I got to. It can't be more embarrassing than the dunk tank we did for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago at our opening event, we had a dunk tank, and Izzy was the honorary member along with President Collins and some other
board members. Yeah.
Raised good money for Make-A-Wish from that event.
So if people want to find out, in the community how they can get involved with this stuff and when those events are coming up, is it just going to the athletics.walsh.edu webpage?
Yeah, so really our Walsh SAC Instagram is super active this year. So that's one way to follow us. Really social media and just kind of word of mouth. We have this event coming up, which is more campus involved, but coming up in October for sure, just off the top of my head, we have it's called Boo at the Woo. So it's a community trick-or-treat event.
That was a really good turnout last year for that.
Oh, yeah. We get, I think, probably close to 1,000 kids and 1,000 families in the community. All of our teams, they dress up along the track, and it's fun to see the kids come in their costumes and they walk around and get candy, and it's a really great event to give back to the community.
And that's definitely one that our athletes are very excited about, want to engage in. I like seeing the kids' costumes, but seeing some of the big football players dressed as Barbie, some of that is pretty good too.
Oh my gosh, I need to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have pulled that look off, but so let's reel it back in here and talk some competition. So for you coming in, being in your final year, what are some of your goals? What have you kind of set out there? Let's say short-term ones, and then the one out there that you're just looking at, as I mentioned with Mitchell, he's like, you know what, I want to be an All-American. What are some of those that are on your list?
I mean, I am really enjoyed my time in NCAA and D2. The cool thing about running is it's a lifetime sport, but I see my time at Walsh as time to get to race with my team. I won't get that after I'm out of here. So my goals are pretty team-based. The goal is always get back to nationals and be able to represent our program there. So that's really been like the push and motivation for me and a lot of the other girls in training over the summer, be at that competitive caliber in our conference and in the region to be able to get back to nationals, which is probably going to take a 4th to 5th place finish in our region.
Yeah. So 25 years from now, you're still going to be running?
That's the plan. You know, if my knees don't give out on me first, we'll see. Maybe I'll have to pick up some biking and swimming at that point too.
You can get into golf then. I'll give you some lessons.
That's true. I mean, if I want to be a lawyer, I think I got to work on my golf swing a little bit.
Yeah.
Have to. A lot of deals will get done out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Any especially, I know it's still early for you, but I mean, do you want to get into criminal law? Are you looking more like the tax laws, real estate laws? What kind of is something that maybe has stuck out to you as you've gone through your course load here at Walsh?
Yeah, well, I'm actually doing my honors thesis on rural legal practice and some like gaps in legal access in rural areas. I'm from a pretty small county in Ohio, and that's a pretty big problem facing a lot of like areas in the state and really in the nation in general. So I've been really enjoying getting to do my research and seeing like what the specific problems facing attorneys who are practicing in small areas, which is a lot of general practice, a lot of real estate. I mean, everybody needs a lawyer at some point in their lives, whether you like it or not. So getting to help like address that problem is something I'm very interested in. But who knows where law school will take me or what opportunities are going to pop up. It's easier to say what I don't want to do right now, honestly.
Right.
I'll tell you what. You are worth your weight in gold when you are needed. A good lawyer, I can tell you that for sure. Greenie, give us a quick little rundown here as we're at Wednesdays at the Wink. This is season 2. We got kind of started last year and rolled all the way through the end of the school year and firing this thing back up at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Make sure to stop out and patronize them whenever you're out and about, whatever event you may be at. If you're leaving the Home Run Derby here today, stop on out. If you're coming out for a Browns game on Sunday, stop on out. And if you're just leaving a Walsh University event, whether it's across the street, whether it's over here at Larry Stout Field, make sure you're popping by and patronizing the Winking Lizard here at Washington Square. Great food deals, all the different beverages you can consume, and just a great place to be, a thriving area. And that's why we love being here. Shout out to everybody here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. They've always been great to us. Greenie, give us the just give us the fall sports rundown right now. Really, still early, right? You got 2 football games under the belt. What do people really need to know? We know that you can get the Walsh Athletics mobile app to stay up to date, get your scores, get your stats, get your schedules, buy tickets. So go down wherever you get your apps. Make sure to download the Walsh Athletics mobile app. But what do people really need to know as the 2024 school year has gotten underway?
Yeah, so we'll give you a quick little rundown of what we've done. Last week was our first week of home events, so hopefully the Winking Lizard got some action from the busy campus atmosphere.
They're getting some action today. I walked in here by 11:30.
It's awesome to see. So our football team, they are 1-1. They're in a bye week this week, and next week is homecoming weekend, maroon and gold weekend on our campus. So definitely come out and support all of our teams then. So football returns to the field for our homecoming game versus Kentucky Wesleyan next Saturday, the 21st at 1 p.m. The sprint football team, they open their season this weekend on Saturday versus Calumet College of St. Joseph. So we're excited to see them.
Let's go, year 2.
Yeah, year 2 of sprint football. We're excited to see what Coach Stewart has got going for this year. One really super exciting thing is our men's and women's rugby programs. If you followed along in the news at all, Notre Dame College, both teams were up there. The men's were national champion last year, but because of the closing, we were very fortunate to inherit all of them. And the men's team just got their first win versus Thomas More. They dominated 62-4 in the pouring rain over on Stout. It was incredible. It was a great atmosphere. The women play their first game, inaugural game on Sunday against the Ohio State University, your alma mater. So women's rugby will be doing that on Sunday. Soccer team, women's soccer, they're 2-0. They've had 2 home games and looked awesome. Men's soccer has their home opener tonight versus Slippy Rock, so we're excited to see what they have. This year, obviously, cross country gets their season going. Let's see, volleyball. They had a home tournament last weekend. They went 2-1. They unfortunately lost last night at Fairmont, but then they head to Florida this week for some really good competition down there. Tennis, they're playing their fall schedule. Men's and women's golf playing their fall schedule. So I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
Is anybody I forgot?
Man,
I rattled
the
them off. I
energy's
gotta
been
lock
electric.
in.
It's
I gotta
been
lock
electric
in.
around campus. It's been real
Yeah.
busy
Greeny
in a good
always
way.
on top of her game.
Trying. I hope I didn't forget anybody. If I did, love all our teams. So
Well, if
sorry if I
if
forgot.
anybody's worried about our safety right now, we got about 30 strapped up canine officers that just walked out here behind us. And no, it's just it's a great time, you know, to be a part of campus life, be a part of school life, be a part of Walsh University. Unfortunately, we can set our watch to it that it's going to be snowing here within but a few months, and then we'll start to turn our attention to some hoops and all that. But it's always thriving. It's always great. You know, when you're talking about Division II NCAA athletics and just the GMAC in general, the Great Midwest Athletic Conference, and it was fun to be able to go up there and be when they have their swimming.
Oh yeah, you
Over swimming and diving over at over at the Nat. I mean, I had never been a part of it. Then I saw this Finley team, and I'm like,
yeah,
whoa.
they're really good at
like,
swimming.
these dudes are, all of them, really good. But just the competitive nature for college athletics, you know, because we know that not everybody is guaranteed any type of reps in any type of sport after high school's over. So it's fun, and I know that we're going to be keeping our eyes on what you guys are doing at Robert Morris on Saturday. So if there is one final message you can leave here at Wednesdays at the Wink for your teammates ahead of Saturday, what would you, if you're giving the pregame, the pre-race speech, what are you telling the ladies in the pack?
I'm saying work together and have fun. It's a privilege, and I mean, we only get to do this so much this season. We only race 4 or 5 times, so be thankful for it and just have fun, because it's pretty special. But also, I'm like a nostalgic senior who I'm like, oh, this is my last cross-country season, so maybe that wouldn't resonate with everybody, but.
Yeah, you know what? Emotion plays a lot of part in it, so tell you what, trying to keep everything in check when you're going through all those distances. I mean, I totally give you guys the utmost respect, because running wasn't really my forte either.
Yeah, no.
I can do like a little speed walk, but that's about the.
Maybe like if we're running maybe 2 miles max. I see them running like 10. I'm like, yep. See you guys later. Have a fun run.
Enjoy.
Yeah, running does not feel like my forte about the hour before my race, but then we'll be done after. So.
All right, Izzy Ramble, best of luck. Get after it.
Thank you.
Meet all your goals. Hit them all, and especially for your final year, I know how exciting that is for you, and everything else that you're doing. We'll continue to pump some of that stuff out about Student Athlete Advisory Committee, where you're going to be able to catch some of those events, or just be able to help give back, and or come out for Boo at the Woo here in October, because we're already coming up on Halloween and the holidays, and so we're going to have a lot of fun. So, Greeny, Izzy, appreciate you joining us here at Wednesdays at the Wink. Shout out again to the Washington Square Winking Lizard and Bell Stores, Huntington Bank, Sam Center, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, and BSN Sports. All right, for Izzy, for Greeny, for Coach Rob, for Mitchell, I'm TJ Downing here with the SMG Network. We'll be back next week with more and our friends at Walsh University and Walsh Cavalier Athletics. Give it to them.
Yep,
Swords
swords
up.
up.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo.
Swords up.
See you later.